digital one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, is that Michelle? Is that your name?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Your name is Michelle, is that right?
Melissa.
Lawrence, I'm sorry. Because didn't know Michelle. But, okay.
Thank you.
Sure. There's lights I can turn on. They're not bright.
You know what? Can you turn this on?
Oh, once they if they don't talk into the microphone, because I'll turn it on more. If they don't talk into the microphone, it doesn't come up that good. But
Okay, so those are the speakers.
yeah, there's one there, one right over here, one on the side over there, and one. Yeah, two on the. But I'll turn
Your attention, please. I'd like to call the meeting of the Dupage Township Board of Trustees to order. First thing is the Pledge of Allegiance, and Carrie, could you lead the pledge, please?
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I just heard
Clerk,
it
could
I
you
got it from
have the roll
somebody
call
out there.
performed?
Here.
Here, say that trustee Savage is having a medical procedure, outpatient, and she informed me weeks ago that she would not be here. The next thing is the approval of the agenda. I'd like to have a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
A second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Supervisor Martin.
Aye. The next item on the agenda is public comments. Anyone who would like to make any comments on the agenda or anything?
Minutes.
What?
We have the minutes. Minutes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Motion approved.
I move.
Second.
Any discussion? Any changes? Would you please call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Supervisor Martin.
Aye. The next item is public comment. Is anyone who would like to make a comment on anything on the agenda or anything dealing with the township? You have 3 minutes in your discussion, and all you have to do is state your name, and then you can make your comments.
Hey, my name is Tony Brown, longtime resident of Bolingbrook. Looking at the agenda, there's an issue here that I would like to discuss. That's not included in the agenda. And that has to do with an employee that was formerly here, Kimberly Owens. As I hear from some of our friends, including relatives, about how she was so connected and dedicated to her job and providing the necessary services. And to hear that she is no longer here, for whatever reason, I think it's a tragedy. And I don't know who you currently have or are considering to hire to replace her, but an individual with 20-plus years, you can't put a price on it. That's been years in the making to represent this township. And I'd like to hear more about what happened. Thank you.
Are there any other comments, public comments? Would you go to the podium, state your name? Okay.
Hi, my name is Elaine here. I met Kimberly roughly about 18 years ago. And the moment I met her, she was nothing but good and Kimberly gives her all to this township. This township gives Kimberly. I have never met anyone that gives her time and her energy as unselfishly as she does. Give on even on her days off. On her days off, she volunteered.
She has her kids to volunteer. Nobody that replaces her will know as much as she knows. And that's a guarantee. And sometimes we make mistakes, but we don't know that they're mistakes until they're made. And this is a big mistake. This is a huge mistake because whoever replaces her, they're not going to have the tenacity that she has for her job. They're not going to have that energy. They're not going to bring to the table what she brings to the table. That's all I have to say. I got 2 words to say about Kimberly. Beautifully amazing. That's it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Wilson, and I moved here to Bolingbrook 17 plus years ago, with no friends, no family in the immediate area. I ran into some problems. I was told to go to the Dupage Township Center. As I went there, I was greeted by Kim. Kim was the most accepting and loving, and no matter what your problem or your issue was that you needed help with, she still made you feel like a whole person. She did a lot of things to help me make the transition in my family to Bolingbrook. Since then, I became the godfather of 3 of her children. She is more than just an employee, a person that I know and over at the Dupage Center. She's a part of my family. Okay, she does things on her time off, 24/7. When that pager goes off or whatever she's doing goes off and someone needs to speak to her, she's accessible to it. Okay, there were times I didn't have food on my table, and Kim made sure that my family was taken care of. And when I walked into the Dupage Center a few days ago and asked for her, she wasn't there. It was like a part of me was ripped out. Okay, to me, when you think of Dupage Township, you think of Kim. Everybody in this town, or every other person in this town, knows Kim, and she has touched their lives in a certain way. And whatever happened, I think it's a travesty that you let her go. Because when you think of Bolingbrook, when you think of Dupage Township, Kim's picture is right there next to it. Thank you.
And my grandmother, she is always like somebody that you can turn to, and she is there to help anyone in need. Now, with this also, she has always been accommodating to anyone that was needed to be sent or to help. So with that, I don't know the reasons, but I do believe that she was an asset to your guys' growth. As well as I believe that she has helped as many people as possible, and this is decades long, going further back. Every person that was sent to her was treated with respect, as well as treated as an equal to the point where she would give the clothes off her back if she needed to. She always made sure everyone was taken care of. And
evening. My name is Elise Lindsay, and I am a resident of Boulder. Refer to organizations that could help, churches and whatnot. I've seen Kim and Nicole out there helping deliver food to cars and whatnot. She's always busy. She's always has been so compassionate about what she does. And I can feel her aura almost now as we speak, here for her, on behalf of her. But yes, this is a travesty, and it is so devastating, I just couldn't believe it. So, anyway, we don't know what really happened, but I hope we can get to the bottom of it, because this is terrible. I can't believe it. So, anyway, God bless, and thank you.
My name is Devon Robinson, and I've been involved since 1985, and I've known him for about 37 years. She is a fantastic and fabulous individual. She also helped me pay all my utility bills, for the water bill. Not only did I have one stroke, I had 3 strokes, and Kim helped with me on those strokes, because I would not remember that it was time to, qualify to go to life or whatever. So she kept me informed. I don't know how she did all of that with everything else that she was doing, but I am terribly disappointed, and I'm shocked for the justification of, firing him. What was the real reason, really? What was the reason for letting her go? She's a fantastic and wonderful and sweet person.
Good evening, my name is Lenora Hunt. I hope that what's being said this evening is not falling on deaf ears. I am not a friend of Kimmy, is what I call her. I don't even know her that personally. However, as a resident of 31 plus years, I know her through her reputation. When I met her, she sat at the front desk of Dupage Township. And I understand she progressed and she held an office space then for permanent. I too would like to know what happened, because her reputation does not dictate a firing based on what I know. I don't know the details of the firing, but I too would like for you guys to know that it was not just a job for Kimberly. It was who she is. What she did for Dupage Township is what she will continue to do as long as she can employ. I know personally of situations where she has been very instrumental in a lot of people's lives through a lot of very tragic and difficult times. I just want to make sure that I'm heard. Kimberly deserves better. I've seen her not only at Dupage Township, but I know she worked some other jobs in the community. And as a joke, well, we had a joke about that, but she's very committed to what she does. And what she is instrumental in doing is helping and serving. And for whatever reason she's no longer here, we need to know what happened. And if it is not justifiable, we need to do something about it. Good afternoon. My name is Christine Crocker. And before I say anything, I would like to pose a question he without sin cast the first stone. I don't know what Sister Kennedy got, but I do know she has a compassion of love now like I've ever seen for this time in Bolingbrook. I have lived in Bolingbrook since 1980. I have known Sister Kennedy for many, many years. She's always had the township people on her heart, and she was concerned about their well-being. She was concerned about their children. She was concerned about the elders. She was concerned about the widows. She was concerned about the ones that was married. She was concerned about everybody. How do I know that? She and I have had conversations along those lines. And if anybody ever went to Kimberly with a problem, if she couldn't fix it, like someone said earlier, she made sure she directed me in the right direction. Now, we all have done some things somewhere in life if we look at our record. But does this justify what you are doing to her now, the many years that she has put her kids aside to serve the cause? We might not love her, but there are some people in Bolingbrook love Sister Kelly, and we want her back.
Hi, my name is Evan Harris, and I'm one of the seniors in McKenzie Falls. That's how I met Kim. Kim definitely makes sure that everybody that crosses her path is taken care of. And like the young lady said, I'm not a friend of hers. I just know her through the township. I didn't even know until the other day that Kim had children, because she's everywhere doing everything. I'm like, how could this woman be doing everywhere, doing everything, and she got a family at home? So she did obviously put this job before family. I don't know if you guys are going to answer tonight and give us some satisfaction as to why she's not here. But like my mother used to tell my father, when he screwed up, tell me something. Even if it ain't nothing but that.
Hey everybody, I'm Kim. I came to this meeting at a whim because my mother happened to tell me about Kim getting fired. And right now I'm the age of 40. So I remember when I was a young girl just getting started and not really knowing Kim, but I know that she was a friend of the family. She was, and I would come up here needing assistance in rent or whatever, and she was always willing to help. Y'all have to realize when a person used 25 years of their life, how disposable are they? You know, for you to let somebody go that served 25 years here in the town of Baltimore, you know, you see what mistake a person really make to lose their job when they can serve 25 years of their life. It doesn't make sense to me. We need to stop with this. You know, the politics, the saying this, the saying that. Enough is enough. People got people bills, people kids, anything. Just like all these people are reaching out like Kim, now she gonna have to figure out how she gonna have to pay her bills. Because y'all pay a red sticky to deposit somebody that can serve 25 years of their life. Like I say, I'm 40 years old and I don't announce my age too much. But I know when I was young, and I didn't know Kim like that, she helped me out. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna be there. And I'm gonna speak. And this was just a win. But y'all have to realize, imagine you done served 25 years of your life at a job and they just dispose of you like you're nothing. Let people realize you got to get it together. When you have somebody serving and actually showing up and showing out and you get rid of them, that shows the type of character that this community is. And we don't want to
20 acres, because I do have a PhD in theology, so I am known by the Reverend Doctor. I'm here today to talk a little bit about Kimberly, but more so about leadership. Because anytime you get rid of someone that has 21 years of service in any organization, you have to look at the leadership and see what the leadership did or did not do to make this situation the way that it is today. Today I brought a couple of books with me. And these books were books that I had to read when I was in college or either in theology school. One of the books is called A Making of a Leader. This particular book really kind of depicts some of the characteristics of leadership. But before I go into that, I want to give you a little bit about my background. I have over 25 years of leadership myself. I ran some organizations, I would say Fortune 500 companies. I worked for Sprint for 12 years as a leader. I worked for Ameritech as a manager. I worked for Comcast as a director. CarMax, and I ran my own homeless shelter for women in the Chicago area, where we housed over 75 homeless women and children. Not only was I a leader, I had people that were over me, who had to help shape me to be the person that I am today. 5 years ago, well, let me say this. I've been in the Bolingbrook area for over 22 years, a homeowner for 17 years, and I've been knowing him for 5 years. 5 years ago, I found myself homeless. Not homeless, jobless. I didn't lose my home. I was jobless. I actually had to take custody of my grandchildren. And I found that my house was starting to fall apart after 22 years. You know, it needed some noticeable repairs. When I met Kim, she introduced me and educated me on services that the township provided that I had no idea that they provided. And as a person who's taken care of myself for many years, I've never really asked for handouts. I didn't even know that these services even existed until I met Kim. Kim really helped me out of a sticky situation, and I'm grateful for that. Now, we all have many stories about Kim because she's been in this community for so many years, but I want to talk more about leadership. Because again, when you have employees, whether you think they're measuring up or not, it's really the leadership, it's really the leader's job to performance their people into a space where they need to be good at what it is that they need to be good at. And if they're not doing what it is that they're supposed to do, then shame on you as the leader. Shame on you as the leader. When I had a team of sales consultants at Sprint, I had 25 people that reported to me. Some of them were awesome. You always have that they call it the bell curve, where you have the high performers, the low performers, and the mid performers. And it will come a time where you may have to get rid of the low performers, but what did you do? Did you do everything that you need to do to get that person ready to get the business? Did you? This book called A Making of a Leader, it has so many great topics in it. It talks about conflict management. One of my best books that I read, it was called Good to Great. And I want to read one of the quotes in here that talks about leadership in here. It is on page 17, and it says, "You can accomplish anything in life provided that you do not mind who gets the credit." A lot of times Kim did things and she didn't really care who got the credit. She did stuff that others did. She did things that maybe her manager or her supervisor should have been doing, but she didn't care who got the credit for it. To me, that is the making of a great leader. But let me really introduce to you my favorite book. This book is called A Leader's Legacy. A Leader's Legacy. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to sit down, but I'm going to give you a few nuggets out of this book, and then I'm going to end with a story of a leader who really helped shape me of who I am today. Was I a perfect employee all the time? No, I was not. That's where leadership comes in. Leadership comes in and help you to be the best person that you can be.
called A Leader's Legacy. It has chapters in it such as leaders are servants, and they do sacrifice. Leaders, it says the best leaders are teachers. If you don't teach those that are subordinate to you, shame on you. It also says we all need loving critics. Not backstabbers, loving critics. Few more, and then I'm going to end with a story. It's in here, it also says, when you don't see eye to eye, seek to understand. It's not just the leader's vision, it's also the subordinates. Leaders are also followers too. And I'm going to end with this story, and I'm going to title this story, Marilyn. Marilyn was one of my managers when I was a sales manager in a call center. I was one of the top leaders in the call center. So I felt like, I was the golden child. My people had great attendance, they had great attitudes, and their numbers, they exceeded their numbers out of everybody else in the call center. But guess what? Every time I did my report, Marilyn was write it up in red ink. She would just tear my report up because I had run-on sentences, I had poor grammar, I was really bad. Little did she know, when I was a young girl, I was dyslexic. This book here says the gift of dyslexia. I was always able to get around reading because I was never hooked on phonics. So I always had jobs where I did not have to do a lot of reading. So let me tell you what Marilyn did. She pulled me into her office one day and she set me down. She said, Tony, you are great at what you do, but I noticed that you are a terrible writer. And this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to send you to a business writing class. I'm going to send you, that's what she did for me. She didn't fire me. She didn't say because I couldn't spell I was not going to be a part of this organization. She looked at my gifts, she looked at the area that I need to be improved in, and she helped me get better. Because of Marilyn, I'm an author today. I've written 8 books. This book is one of the best sellers. Maybe not to you, but on Facebook it is. It's a bestseller. And I look at this as being part of Marilyn's legacy because she took the time to coach me as a leader. She was my leader. As me being a leader, she coached me to be the person that I was today. So I challenge you all today. If Kimberly does not measure up in whatever area that you felt that she needed to measure up, shame on you that you did not practice performance. What is your legacy? My question to you is, what is your legacy? Is your legacy poor integrity? Poor communication? Think about it today. For every leader in this room, if you don't have a legacy for the people, your subordinates, then shame on you.
Before you start, I'd just like to remind that it's supposed to be limited to 3 minutes. I let that go there, but please keep it to 3 minutes.
My name is Teresa Freeland. I am a 21-year resident of Bolingbrook. I am also a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. One of our tenets is service, and it is because of Kimberly that we are connected to the village of Bolingbrook. We serve because of Kimberly. I have been blessed enough not to need any of the social services that Bolingbrook offers. But because of Kimberly, my sorority serves alongside those agencies. And she's been such a valuable connection for us to keep us connected to this community. Now, I am finding it hard to believe that Kimberly has been dismissed because of something she's done as opposed to something you felt she couldn't do. I live across the street in Town Center Park, across from the community center where there's a big old sign that says Bolingbrook, a place to grow. Kimberly has invested 20 plus years in the village of Bolingbrook, and I ask that when invest in her. Thank you.
Good evening, Liz Campbell, 37-year resident of Bowling Grove, 24 years serving on the school board, and just recently a female citizen of Bowling Grove. And a job that pays me, everybody think the school board is my paying job. That's my volunteer, just like Kimberly. But my paying job is Catholic Charity. I work for the Diocese of Joliet, but my service areas is here in Bolingbrook and in Romeoville. And I too think I did not have to use the social services here, not that I'm greater than that, by the grace of God, there go I. And so, but I do work with Kimberly on servicing my clients. My clients are this village of Bolingbrook right now. My servicing clients are, I have Pakistani families, I have Nigerian, I have Caucasian families, I have Mexican families. I have a diversity of clients, and they have served. And just a few days before that, one of my African clients, Kim came to our house because of schools for tubes, and we're not transporting people right now. And Kimberly came to sign up because she was in need of schools, tools for school. And so that's just one of the areas that recently that Kim did before I realized that she was leaving in the next couple of days. But I just wanted you guys to consider that Kimberly has served this, as has been restated. She served this community for over 20 years. And like I said, it's nothing about no favoritism, whether we like her, but does her work speak for herself? And that's what I'm asking you. That our work speak for herself. And I thank you for the time to serve her. I thank you for you guys are stepping up and allow this community elect and serve you. So now let's elect and serve those that will serve this diversified community of Bolingbrook in the Dupage Township, and we know that it does more than Bolingbrook because the township encompasses others. So again, I ask you to please consider us serving, and that's what we all came and stood for, because we said as elected officials, we came to serve him. Kim, even not an elected official, was still a serving individual. And that's what Jesus has called us all to do, is to serve one another, to love one another, regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of our political party, regardless of our gender or our social economical status. God has called us to love and serve one another.
My name is Gwen Wilson, and you know what makes a good leader? Is a leader who surrounds themselves with people who know their job. So you're putting Kimberly out. Kimberly probably knows more about this organization than the new leadership knows about this organization. So how are you going to serve the community and you don't know what's going on? You need somebody who's been there, who knows the in and out, who knows the people, who knows and trusts the people. So Kimberly has shown that to this community. She has been there. I have sent people to her who I've met in the grocery store, who just moved here. So moving Kim is like letting this community down. And you are an elected official. So you know what? We're watching and we're seeing what you're doing. And when it comes to election time, we're going to see that.
Okay, thank you. So, I'm gonna read it, and you be the judge. Ellen was trying to ask people to nominate a special somebody in your community, and I said, I am nominating a special lady. This lady is the best thing that happened in my community, Bolingbrook, Illinois. This lady is everything a concerned citizen is and beyond. Her mission is to help all children and to put a smile on each child's face. No matter what they are struggling with, food, clothing, backpack, school supplies, etc. Troubled kids in every aspect. Miss Kimberly Owens will get you help. Not doing well at school, Miss Owens will get you to Russia. She is dedicated to serve. From January to December, she has every day planned for every kid in my community. She has summer events, motivational program for before and after school called STAR, which stands for Students Taking a Responsible Stand. She holds Christmas party where kids and their parents receive gifts, including gift cards. Miss Owens doesn't even have time for herself. I took my daughter Monday after the Christmas party to exchange a pajama for a right size. Her office phone was ringing off the hook. She is meticulously responding and solving problems timelessly. Most importantly, she is crazy about your show. She needs a surprise of a lifetime. Thank you, Ellen, for being such an inspiration, fun-loving, and giving. God bless you, and a continued blessing for you. I wrote to Ellen at the time, not knowing that who would be here today. So that was my observation of Ken in 2020, February, and I've had so many people say so many nice things about this one particular person, and I thank you all, and God bless.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angela White. I don't live in Bolingbrook. I live in Woodbridge. So I met Kim when she lived in Woodbridge with her kids back in 87, 88. At that time, everybody respected her. You know, we would never see this coming, but everybody respected her. Her kids was little. She took care of them. She didn't ask for anybody for anything. They was always respectful. Sometimes when you're young, you have women being drama. She was always to the side. She was always set aside. She never associated with anything that was negative. As of today, so as I don't live in Woodbridge, every time she has something, she invites me or she comes to certain things we have at our church. My sisters and them, some of them live in Bolingbrook. They know her because she's the helping lady. I know her from just being Kim. And sometimes we go through things thinking that we're somebody that sometimes we disrespect people with an opinion. And then sometimes that opinion comes alive, like now. You thought that one thing she did, and it probably stood out the most, instead of talking to her about it. Because if you would talk to her about whatever the thing was going on, she would have changed. And you would have seen the change. And she wouldn't have been negative or anything about it. She loves her community. She loves herself. She respects everybody. She shows respect from herself. I don't know what happened. I also would like to know, Maybe someone else that's trying to get a job, sister, brother, I don't know. I don't mean no harm, I just want to say how it goes. So, you know, please just consider, understand that she has done this job and other jobs for a very long time, so she knows it like the back of her hand. So whomever you get to do the job, it's going to take some time. You're going to have a loophole, and you might lose a lot of things that you want to keep going. You might just be spoiled and think the next person is going to be the same way. It is not so. So I just want to say this. God bless you. Bless your heart. Tell the truth to yourself. Tell the truth to her and us. You'll sleep better and you will be better. And
How you doing today? Everybody here probably know who I am. My name is Joe Johnson. My family has been here in town since 1982. I didn't come into 95. Unique point of view. Coming from the south side of Chicago originally, being a Army veteran, the son of a Chicago police officer, I get a unique point of view of things in America, and being an Afro-American man. I also get a unique point of view of what we do. I'm not able to do a lot of things political here in town because I don't want people to think I'm deep into politics, even though that's the rumor. The funny thing is that there's nobody's business, but I wouldn't give them credit. I'm just not guilty of the same things that I accuse those on the other side of doing. I also know that there are several things as a leader that you need to look at. And when you service a community, you have to service the entire community. And when there are tax dollars put to the side that are used for those that are at risk or those that are in need in the community, and we will say that not all, but a great number of those are out of the minority community. That's why we have this educational gap, this wealth gap, and all the other gaps in America that we're sitting here pretending like we don't know about. What Kim was is something that you can't replace. A liaison directly just means that Kim has no total available. It's very frustrating to be passionate about everything that I do. I service you guys. I serve in your youth community. I've got organizations for youth here in town. It's the very group that I'm running now is in place to help from Linda and the township many years ago to help us get started. As long as I'm in the community, as long as I work here, as long as I live here, as long as I raise my kids here, as long as I have influence here, you're going to know my opinion about something. And I'm going to work with those that don't believe the same thing I believe because I believe in being neighbors. I believe in being a good Christian. And I also believe in knowing what the hell I'm talking about before I open my mouth or before I do something. And whatever the issues were, you had to think about the other half of the community that saw that for 21 years, going on 22 as a liaison. Clearly, you can't be that stupid. You have to know. And you have to just not give a hoot. Think about what you're doing when you're paying the price.
My name is George Liebert. I've been in the Baltimore community since 2003. I've known Kimberly in a number of different aspects of this community, but I want to speak specifically about 2020, because 2020 was a difficult year. We all could just sit here and think about what 2020 meant to us. One of the reasons why I wanted to come up here and speak tonight on Kimberly's behalf, because we have a church that was moving into the western suburb. Our church is the main church and campus in Clinton Park existed there for 30 years. And last year, we had things that we wanted to do in the community. One of those things was the Thanksgiving food drive. And right here in Canterbury Lane, we handed out 130 turkeys and Thanksgiving boxes. big part of the success for that, for us as an organization, was reaching the community through Kimberly. That was the first thing. The second thing was the toy drive. We had a toy drive here in the village of Bolingbrook last year, in a tough year, when families were going through. And we were able to hand out some almost 500 toys. Once again, the big connection point between what we were able to do was the Kimberly. And I remember coming down to the end of the toy drive on that Saturday about 2 p.m. And we still had a table with about 50 toys sitting on it. And the only person I could think about was to pick up the phone and call Kimberly and say, hey, do you know some people who can use this stuff? And she said to me, you know what? Just bring it and drop it by. And we all got into our cars and loaded the stuff up because she knew people in the community that needed help. And so you've heard several people speak tonight about different aspects of Kimberly. And I've spent 29 years working in the corporation. I would say to myself, I learned over the years how to become a servant leader. I heard some of the comments tonight about leadership. My answer to you is this, is that you reconsider what the impact is of letting a good employee go. Whatever the pride is, whatever you have to do, put that aside and listen to what the people of this community is communicating to you tonight. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Maria Perez, and I'm here because I want to say something about Kim. She's a wonderful woman from inside and outside. I know her from 2 years to now, but I don't need to know her from a long time because she's really nice person. I came 2 years ago, really devastated because someone killed my son. And I was really depressed, and she helped me to look for a doctor. Well, I came for something else, and she saw me how I was at that time, and she looked for a doctor for me because I was really depressed, and because I had another kid, and she looked for her for depression therapist, and she was making calls and calls and calls. And even if I don't qualify for the help I need, the help I need, she was making calls, and she was like really, really worried about me because she thought I'm gonna do something with my life. You know? She thinks I'm gonna kill myself because I was really depressed about that time, and she helped me with some money for the funeral. And I was really surprised because I never asked for money, but I was really surprised. And then who or where do some people like that calling you about 12 o'clock p.m.? Who's gonna take the time to call you and pray for you? Or like 3 months ago, in March and June, I got a surgery. I stayed in the hospital for 3 months, and she was sending me a messages on the hospital. Sending me links. Remember, she was saying to go to the link, and she said to go to the link, and the prayers start at 6 a.m. No people worries about me. Oh, who's gonna tell you go to the church here and there? You're gonna have help with these people. She was really. Every time she sent me messages and blessings. Nobody does nothing for you. She really worried about people. She hugs a lot. And for me, she's, I mean, that was like my mom. And I don't know her. I don't know her. But for me, it's like I know her for a long time. And that was only 2 years. And I don't know what happened, but I'm really sad because she's not working here. Not because I need the help or anything like that. Because I know how does it feel to lose a job. And she deserves the chance to know, or we deserve to know why she's not here. And I mean that's all. We love Kimberly, and we deserve to know the truth.
As I hear other people speaking about him, and I look out at each and every one of you, I'm a member of Phi Alpha Psi fraternity, a graduate of Notre Dame University. I served 21 years in the United States Marine Corps, Force Recon, before the war became popular on TV. This flag, my blood is on it. These wounds right here are from it. At the end of a combat mission, you have to come in and sit before the platoon chiefs. And you have to give a reason. As a lieutenant, I was a leader. I was in Force Recon. And anybody knows about the service, that's no joke. I put my heart for this country the same way Kim put my heart in Bowling. At the end of the combat mission, you have to come in and stand forth before the leaders and explain to them why so-and-so is not going home to his mother. Why this young lady is not going home to her husband and children. Why this person has one leg and one arm. And it comes from the leadership, like it says. So if I take my 6 men out and I come back with 5, I fail. I have to give account and a reason for why that young man or that young woman is not going back home. So, you need to look at yourself in the mirror, and you need to wonder why. If I was responsible for the human lives and a few I've lost, and I had to give account of it, a human life, 21 years, United States Marine Corps, I still carry that to this day. So if I had to give account of reason why lives were lost, you, each and every one of you, on us, the voting, the taxpaying, the volunteering, the residents, and like she said, the vote of the community. You need to give us a person who put her family aside. Like I said, I am the godfather of 3 of my children. I see Kim up late at night working for other people. So, if I had to give account of human lives, you as the leaders that we put in power, that we voted for or not voted for, you owe us. Because that's the human life that she put out. The same way Kim does everyone in this room is the same way. You need to treat her. Did she give so much and now we took her livelihood? What did she do that was so bad? Did she need bank? Did she have a side family? Did she steal with the man? Did she have an encounter with someone that someone's got a man? You owe us. You owe me. Because we look at that flag, our blood's on it. When you see the Olympic flag flying, you see Kim's spirit. So you can get it. The strength that I have given you when I served 21 years in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you.
My name is Myra My parents moved here in Bolingbrook in 1978. I was not here, and I didn't know Kim, but I moved here in 2011. I had a stroke, and I didn't intend to work all my life. I didn't ask for that stroke, but it just hit me. And we didn't know what to do. My daughter didn't know what to do. I'm a young lady. On the right side, it hit me. And she didn't know where to get parts. But I came across a friend, and she knew a lady by the name of Miss Kim. And Kim told my daughter where to go and get some equipment for me. She directed her to the Levy Center. And she there got everything that I needed to prepare for my body. And there I got everything I needed because Kim directed her to the correct place. And I'll forever thank her for that. And then one day, Kim saw me walking down this street. I can't think of the street name. And I'm just creeping on a cane. Me and my neighbor, and she was Filipino. So we just creeping, and she's just holding me up. And we're just walking, and we're getting my exercise in. Ugh. I'm saying to myself, I don't want to be crooked. I'm too young for this, so I'm going to keep on going. Here's Kim looking out her window at us. And she said, Miss Mitchell, what are you doing walking down here? She said, somebody out there to get me, drive me here, because I was coming to get some help. I don't get my life okay, because at that time, I worked all my life. I'm not used to help. I don't need nobody help. But at that point, I needed some help. And who comes and helped me out? But this lady named Miss Kim, Kimberly Owens. So she said, get yourself in here. She gets me in here. She gives us some help, not only me, but she gives somebody else that she don't even know some help. So we both get help. And then after that, she gets us a ride all the way home. Who does that? Who does that? I know I got 3 minutes, but let me get out what I gotta say. She gets us a ride home. It doesn't matter what color, creed, or whatever you are, she is helping. Not only that, my grandchildren call her Awesome One. Get that word, Awesome One. So in the Bolingbrook High School, you got some kids up there calling Miss Kim Awesome One. She's awesome. She is awesome. Hallelujah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. Hallelujah. She's awesome.
How you doing? My name is Bernard Winston. I'm actually been a resident of Bolingbrook for 40 years. And I am a member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And I just wanted to add that Ms. Kimberly Owens has always been a resource for us. Also, I'm a founder of the Bolingbrook Black History Month program. Again, I'd like to add that without the resource of Ms. Owens, she's actually helped us since day one. It's been 22 years for me. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so again, getting rid of a person that has been so resourceful in Bolingbrook, it's shocking. I got the call or a text earlier today that this was actually going to happen today, this meeting. Immediately I had to stop again. She's a friend of mine. She's also a friend of probably about 90% of individuals in here. She actually has changed the lives of individuals. She's actually helped so many people within the community. And again, I consider her as a pillar of Bolingbrook, someone that actually invested so many years, so many hours of their own individual times. Again, it's a shock to hear that she is now no more part of Bolingbrook. But again,
No, speak of the devil is a liar.
and again, a person that's really part of Bolingbrook should be here in Bolingbrook. But again, I just hope that this decision wasn't a racial decision. I hope that this decision. And again, I'm sorry. I'm just hoping that this decision of dismissing him is not political. I'm hoping that this decision is not racial. Again, we need Ms. Kim back in office.
Amen.
Are there any other comments? I cannot discuss personnel matters, that's privacy matter. I can't discuss personnel matters. There are any other comments?
Can't hear you.
I got it. Okay, we were going to go into executive session because we have litigation from the previous administration that we're involved in. But the attorney who was supposed to be making the presentation is not here. So we're going to not go into executive session, and we're going to go to the action items. Well, it's a supervisory report, but the supervisory report is mostly the action items that we're going to. Okay. So I'm calling up under section 9, action items A, which is we were going to be voting on some litigation settlement, but he's not here, so we're going to be, and that is, we have been working on moving the food pantry from Romeoville to Bolingbrook. In fact, using the land next to the township hall to work on. We would have to have some cooperation with the village because part of that land is village. But we're looking at getting the money to do that from the American Rescue Plan for the federal government that was given to the county. In conjunction with that, in our discussions with the county and various members, what was needed is an actual proposal for the cost and a floor plan for the food pantry before they'll ever discuss that. So we talked to White & Company, which is a professional architect who will, for a fee of not to exceed $10,000, okay, will create a concept and also a budget proposal for a new food pantry on existing township property. Okay, now, is there any discussion? Here's a gentleman from White & Company who will go with it. I didn't recognize you with your mask on.
Jason Blair with White Company.
When you pull it up.
Yeah, Jason Blair with White Company. So, yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions you have regarding the proposal, but basically what we'd be looking at is developing a conceptual site plan and floor plan for the proposed new food pantry on the property that you own just Township office building. We're going to be looking at things like conditions of the site, stormwater detention, utility service, trying to incorporate really as much as we can to support the food pantry in terms of drive access lane for pickup and drop off. And so our work will really include in development of a site plan on the property, floor plan layout, and then budget development for the project so that you can determine what the potential overall cost might be for the project. So if you have any questions about the services or proposal, I'd be happy to answer any of those.
Any questions from the trustee?
Only question I have is that in the proposal, will the deliverable be a set of drawings or what form will it take?
Yeah, so this is conceptual design. So what we have is a series of site and floor plan drawings to give you an idea of what can be accommodated on the site in terms of a maximum build out for the food pantry, and then an overall budget development. So it's not construction ready drawings. It's really kind of an initial stage to determine what can be done on the property and what the overall cost might be, so that you're not incurring a very large expenditure before you can determine if funding is going to be available for the project.
In our discussions with the various people at the county, they really would need a firm proposal from us, and this is the only way we can get a firm proposal to get done.
What's the time frame? How long do you need before you have this finalized to show us?
Well, what we're looking at is probably 2 to 4 weeks from the time you authorize us to move forward. We'll do a little bit of initial analysis of the property. We need to communicate with the village of Bolingbrook, and then we'll start to develop initial plans that we can share some ideas with you to make sure we're tracking on the stated plan for what your objectives are, and then with an overall goal to wrap up in 2 to 4 weeks. We know that time's sort of the essence on this, so that you can get a proposal from the county towards the funding.
Terry, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Then I would entertain a motion to approve the hiring of White Company to do a concept drawing and budget proposal for new food pantry on existing ground.
So moved.
Sorry.
Any more discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Markey.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the 2021 audit. There was a correction that we had to get from the auditors. Jackie, that was for the legal fees that we had to pay out to Olson legal fees for work that was done in December, January, and February. And it was going to be coming out of our current budget, but it was done for the previous budget, so we had the auditors correct that so it would be not be taken out of our budget. And so do we need to get a vote on that to accept the correction? Yes, okay. I would like a motion to accept the correction to the 2021 audit.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Markey.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item, when you came into the League Center, the inner door, you notice is propped open. It usually is, usually done by the button on the wall. It went bad a couple of weeks ago, and we've been trying to get quotes on it to get it repaired. And the quotes went anywhere from, I think, $11,000, then it was $9,000, but we did get a quote for $4,600 that would be basically replace the mechanism at the top of the door. And we need to get it done. We authorized it to do it under the emergency repair, but under the emergency repair item, it has to be put on the next meeting's agenda for approval by the board. So that's why it's on there, even though we've authorized the repair. Okay, but by the ordinance we have on record for the township, that's the procedure. If we do an emergency repair, it has to be put on the next agenda. So I'd like to have a motion to approve the repair for the League Center inner door.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, question, or anything? If not, call the roll, please.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Township. Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. The next item, okay, is E, which is the newsletter print. You know, we had the first newsletter, and what we've done is we have the in the budget the cost already. What it looks like, it will be around $16,000 per issue, and we'll have 2 issues, which is the October 1st issue and the January 1st issue. The next issue after that would be April, but that would be in the new fiscal year. So we've been shopping around to make sure the first one would cost about $17,600. I talked with, we got quotes from other printers and everything, and it's extremely hard to compare the printers between them because some will help you with the layout, some will not help you with the layout, some charge for what they call mail prep and everything else. But talking to the one which is the forced printing which we had before, okay, they will commit to doing it under $16,000, which was what we had budgeted for. So, is there any questions or discussion on that? Or?
I think there were a couple like spelling errors or grammatical errors. Is force printing, is this part of that budget? Will they?
I can't hear.
So in the last newsletter, Kelly, in the last newsletter, I noticed that there was grammatical errors.
Grammatical errors in the newsletter?
Yeah, there was something in there that was written poorly. Is the $16,000 quote inclusive of them, checking over those items, or is it just putting together what we said?
Actually, the responsibility for checking for grammatical errors and spelling that is ours. We're responsible for the articles that we put into them. If we spell something wrong, they're going to print it wrong.
Okay. And you said that you looked at bids from other companies too, and some of them talked about the way that they would format it.
Yes.
So what were the prices in company?
The other companies were, well, actually, you see, in that 16,000 is almost like 5,800 for the mailing. The mailing is the same for everyone because it's a postal system. But it ranges anywhere from, there was probably about a $500 difference between 3 quotes that we got as far as their, but they had done it for us before, and we know exactly what they're going to do. We kept on trying to get details on exactly what other printers would do for us, and it's difficult to compare exactly what they're going to be doing. So the decision was to keep who we have because we know what we've got there. We just have to be more careful as far as our editing on our stuff.
So Gary, I'm sorry. Forest printing, the current printer, the one we use for the last newsletter, are you saying it's 16,000?
16,000. That includes the.
That was everything.
Yeah, that includes the mailing too. And like I said, the mailing. One of the problems we have is the mailing. We're doing mailing routes, okay, and some of the mailing routes extend beyond the township. But to get the best mailing price, we have to go with routes, and we're trying to figure a way where we can, dissect the mailing route so we don't have to go, like we have some that go into Woodridge, and we have some that go into Wheatland Township, of the mailing ones. And so that's the key that we're trying to do is see if we can get it. But this would actually cover exactly what we've done before. But I know we had some people in was it the senior center down there in the southwest corner of the township that did not get, mailings. And then we had some people in Woodridge that got it, and some people in Wheatland. But there's no, unless we give them a database, and we're looking at seeing if we can get the database from the Naperville and Bolingbrook and Romeoville. We cannot do an exact mailing base for the township because they don't have, the postal system is not based on townships.
So Gary, I have a question. So, Forest Springs is the 16,000, which is what I was asking. And then these other two proposals that we got for type, and what's another one?
The other?
Type and, I guess I wanted to understand.
Like theirs is like about 11,000, about 10,000.
Does that not include the other? Why is there so much lower than that one?
First of all, they don't pay for the mailing. If you look at the last payables from last month, you will see that there were two checks made out. One was made out to Forest Printing for the printing and services, and the other one was made out to the USPS, which is the postal system. And you don't negotiate with the postal system. They tell you what the rate is, and you either take it or you leave it. There's no negotiation with them. But what we're looking at is the printing cost. Their printing cost now is going to be like 10,500. Here, 10,290. What?
One was 8,400 and one was 10,000.
No, that was 8,400 for printing alone, but then he didn't add in. No, he didn't add in. Composing, and he didn't add in the other stuff that Forest Printing did, and he didn't have make what they call mail prep, which is getting it set up to go to the print on the mail prep. So if you start adding in all those, it comes pretty close to each other. And since we worked with Forest Printing before, we're more comfortable since we know what we got there. And under printing is the professional service, so we don't actually have to take the lowest bid. With that, I entertain a motion to approve the mailings for the next two mailings, not to exceed $16,000 for printing. I don't want to put in that we have to go with Forest Printing because we might have something else who is better in the future, so we don't want to limit ourselves to that. But I like to have
We're voting on the amount that we're going to.
We're actually voting on the amount that we're going to pay on each mailing. And I entertain a motion for that, for two printers at $16,000, not to exceed $16,000 each.
So move.
I'll second.
Would you call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Supervisor Marching.
Aye.
Passes.
The next item is money for the holiday meals, which is the turkey giveaway at the food pantry, also for the what is the development that the Greenleaf? Yeah, meals that we distribute Greenleaf. Right, those three areas. Now, what I'm proposing is this year we're going to have the turkey meal giveaway on the Saturday before Thanksgiving. the meals to Greenleaf and the two small areas in Loganville would still be on the Tuesday. That has been traditionally where they are. We have $15,000 in the budget for the holiday meals. However, we also have in the Friends of the Levy Center, we have about $8,400 in the Friends of the Levy Center that has been earmarked. It's from that 2,700 for the youth committee that did, and also I think 5,000 or some that were put in there for the food pantry. So it comes out very close to that, and we also still have $70-some thousand, I think about $70,000 for food purchases for the food pantry under the GA program. So we have more than enough, but could you explain how many meals we're going to be putting out? Go ahead, Dave.
We're looking at about 800 of the turkey holiday meal boxes that would be given out on Saturday. I believe it was 200? 400 of the meal kits.
The turkey breast for
The turkey breast, 300 of the turkey breast kits, and then an additional 250 ham kits.
We also, one of the big items in there is the pies, and we have something like $7,500 in gift cards in the safe that we can use to buy pies for Meyer and that.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask, if we still gonna utilize the virus to, okay.
Yeah, we have, what happens is, at Christmas, Meyer and, the other stores, they have the, boxes to donate for the Dupage Township. Well, they don't give us the money, okay? They give us gift cards for the money. I guess they figure they collected it, so we wanna make sure we spend it there.
Spend it there.
Yeah. So we have plenty of money in there, and it's been appropriated in that, but we need approval to use it. So I entertain a motion to purchase food for the holiday meals not to exceed $24,000.
So,
Second.
Any more discussion, or if not, will you call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Branstad.
Aye.
Trustee Thompson. Aye. Supervisor Marchman.
Aye. The next item is the Boardman Cemetery. Judy Bredaway has requested to be able to get a plot in the Boardman Cemetery. At this time, we have no interments at the Boardman Cemetery. It has been in the past, members of or employees of the township have gotten plots in there. Judy has been a long-time member of the Levy Center. She was also an employee of the township for many, many years. And she was also actually what they called a county commissioner. And that was before you had county board members. Because I was going through my old business card file, and I have her card in there. So, but what I'd like to do is get permission. This is a gray area. I've been told that you just need the supervisor. They basically open it up. I don't know. We haven't run into it, but I'd be more comfortable if the board gave me permission to work with Judy to get a plaque in the Boardman Cemetery. And but like I said, it's a gray area. I don't know whose responsibility it is. We're responsible for the cemetery, and we can give permission, but it was between the idea that the board should approve it for the supervisor, and I'd be more comfortable with the board.
With the board initiates the process, we can do it. If,
we can do it, it's our prerogative to open it up and everything. There was a question that was posed by the attorney, and that was carried in, and that was, well, if you open it up for shooting, you have to open it up for everyone. And we've had it open up for individuals before, and my thing would be is that if anybody wants to open it up in the future for another spot, they can approach the board and we can look at it the same way.
Well, again, as long as there's space in the cemetery, it's available.
We've done there is a sonar plot of the whole cemetery, because the wildest thing about it is if you look at the sonar plot, and you know how when we were at the ceremony, whenever we were walking, there's a lot of people down there. Yeah. And so you have to be very careful about where you do it, but we do have a sonar plot that was done, was it about how many years ago was that done? Then I gave Judy a copy of it. I had it in the desk that I had the sonar plot, so okay, so it's accurate, so we should be able to figure out where a plot can go.
So, to my understanding, Judy has been instrumental in the upkeep of the cemetery and the way that it looks now, which is very beautiful. Is that the reason that she would like to be buried there, or is there anything else significant at that cemetery?
I didn't hear what you were saying.
So, to my understanding, Judy's the one that's been keeping up with the cemetery, and
She's been very involved in the beautification and
The
type of
Historic
things.
Commission. The Historic Commission is the one that actually works with the board of cemetery doing upkeep and things, right? Don't you?
You want me to call?
Yeah, go ahead.
That would be great.
I'm Judy Broadway, and I initiated the request. Back in 1975, when I ran for village trustee of Bolingbrook, I ran on a platform that we would celebrate the bicentennial of the United States of America. I got elected, so I became the bicentennial chairman of the village, and we celebrated the bicentennial. And one of our projects was restoration of Portman Cemetery. Back in 1972, the cemetery ownership was transferred from Will County over to the township. And then the cemetery was laid in disrepair. All the stones were down, there was no current census, nobody was taking care of it, except to put a chain link fence around it within the middle of the cornfield, which was, at that time, it was the middle of the cornfield. We worked on the cemetery and we restored it, and we started the celebration of Veterans Day, Memorial Day services out there in 1976. And we've been doing them every year since. The township does keep up the restoration. The township is the official ownership, and it usually goes through the collector of the township, but you as the board can approve. We did not have any current burials in the cemetery. The burials go from 1832 to 1926. However, in the 90s, after Heritage Street was built around the cemetery, we received a request, the township board did, to bury a child who was born with a chromosome deficiency and not expected to live. And the Leonard family is the one that requested that because they lived in the Heritage Street subdivision, which is right there by the cemetery. The board approved that burial and it occurred, and that stone was in the outside of the historic area of the cemetery.
No, he was the former assessor.
Correct. And he was involved with the Historical Society, which reformed the bicentennial, that helped restore the cemetery. Over the years, I also, when I became an employee of the township, we did fish fries on Fridays during Lent, and the money that we raised from that went to the front gate of the cemetery, so that we had the gate with the archway over it, and pillars, and then we put the metal fence all the way around the cemetery. I've been very involved with the cemetery ever since 1975. I have pictures to prove it, if you want to see them. I would like to see Jerry there.
Thank you.
And I'm willing to pay the cost to my estate.
I would entertain a motion to approve the reopening of the Boardman Cemetery with the supervisor to basically work with Judy to establish a plan.
Yeah, absolutely, so moved.
You can take it here.
Any more discussion? Would you call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Reyes.
Aye.
Trustee Township.
Aye.
Supervisor Martin.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, you're all invited to my funeral.
The next item on the agenda is, when we came into office, Jackie went and contacted Commonwealth Edison to do an energy analysis of the Levy Center and the offices, and they came back with a proposal to make it extremely more energy efficient for the Levy Center and the offices. The problem was that they gave us the appraisal and everything after a program for rebates was over. And then what happened is they came around again and extended the program. So does everybody have a copy of that? Yeah. This is something, it looks like the payback for the two appraisals would probably be, like for one would be 4 years and the other one would be 5 years. So that after 4 to 5 years, all the improvements we did in the lighting and everything else would have been paid for, and we'd still have the savings going on beyond there. But I think it's something that the board should decide on whether they do it or not, but you have to realize that it's eco-friendly, and that's why we brought it up for the board discussion. Does anyone have any questions on it?
They have costs shown in here for these various options. And are those actual quotes or the estimates or?
Those are pretty firm estimates, and they also, it shows the rebates that they would give us on that. But I'm not sure, we have to go out to some of their approved contractors to get it done. Isn't that correct? Yeah.
Yes, and they do it at prevailing wage. What's listed on the front page is the total cost of the recommended improvement for each of the buildings, and then minus the instant savings from ComEd that they like knock off the price, and then your final project cost to the company that comes out here and does that, and that's Green Gate. They're part of the energy efficiency ComEd program. And they said that if we decide to move forward, we have to sign the contract by the end of August, and then work would begin within a couple of months, and you would be included and get those discounts that are listed here. The important thing to note about all of this, and I put in your packet, the Greenest Region Compact that has been supported not only by the Village of Bolingbrook, but also by Will County. It's the Metropolitan Mayor's Conference. They gave a whole list of different things that you can look at to save energy lighting, whether it's solar panels. There were just a variety of things in that document, and I thought it was important to share that with you. This would be the first project that you guys could consider to help make Dupage Township green.
As you know, so it's a sizable amount of money to do it, so it's something we should, we can sign it to the end, and then we would have the contractors come in to give us a firm price on the thing, but they indicated it was pretty firm.
I did mention in here, I did see numbers for estimated payback time, I think 3.7 years.
One is 3.7, and the other one I think is 4 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Which actually is pretty reasonable, I think, you know, given, obviously the buildings will be here much longer than 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what we figured too, and that's why we brought it before the board, because I thought it was something that we really should consider. Any more discussion? Would anyone like to make a motion to go ahead with the project?
So moved.
Okay. Second? Is there any discussion? Any questions? Anything else like that? Okay, would clerk call the roll?
Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Marcy.
Aye.
Carried.
The next item is for the copier printer contract, which I have not been involved in, so I would like Jackie to go over that one.
Sure, it's pretty simple. We have two companies that we're using right now. One is Impact Printing, and that particular copier, the contract has expired, and we still continue to make the monthly payments, but we don't have a contract. We can keep making the payments forever. However, by renegotiating a new contract, we can get an upgraded machine at no additional cost. However, I wanted to take a look because our food pantry and the Levy Center have a slightly different contract. Their contract is with McGrath. And so in an effort to not only have a competitive bid, but also possibly pare us down to one vendor, I reached out to McGrath to have them bid on the project. They actually, their price comes in lower than the price from Impact. Impact has a 48-month program, so it's a year longer, and it would extend past the term of the township supervisor and board. And the price for that is actually around $380 a month. For that same 48-month plan, and I'm not suggesting we do 48 months, but for that same 48-month plan, McGrath is offered to give us the same configuration for $275 a month. So that's a pretty significant savings, a little over $100. They would do it though in a 36-month lease rather than in a 48 months. So the price does go up to $310 per month. And Impact didn't give us the 36-month price. They wanted us to sign a 48-month contract. So I think in order to stay in line with what is expected of the office, that we don't sign on to contracts past the lengthier term, you'd be advised to consider the 36-month one.
Now, I see a problem with the 36-month one in that if we got a 36-month lease, then we would only have 12 months for the current term.
Right, you can continue to rent it on a month-to-month basis and then renegotiate after the next term starts.
The food pantry is happy with McGrath working with them.
The 36-month lease is actually less than the 48-month lease, and it gives all the same term.
Yeah, it's cheaper. Sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. I know.
I have to say one thing, we've got contracts with so many different people in this township, and it seems like with the copy machine, we didn't get one contract with one person to do all the copy machine. They just did one for the Levy Center, they did one for food pantry, they did one, and of course, you know, you pay for the nose for that. So the idea is to try to consolidate all these contracts and also to get them on, you know, where they're on the same page, you know, so that they expire at the same time. Is there any more discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion to go along with the, I think it's the 36-month McGrath office equipment contract.
So move.
Second.
If no more discussion, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Martin.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item is something that we discussed several months ago, and that it actually comes out of the forensic audit that was done several years ago, and that is, it was supposed to have been done then, but I don't know why we never did, and that is a camera system, actually, I wouldn't call it a security camera system, I would just call it a camera system that would be aimed at the bar, especially for the cash register where we're using all cash coming in. We have no, you know, to watch it. We want to trust people when they're working with the cash for all these incidents, but it's like the old Reagan thing, trust but verify. And so we would have a camera system that would be aimed on the register at the bar to watch what was going on at the bar.
We don't just be bar.
What's that?
We would just be aimed at the bar.
Yes, it would be just aimed at the bar.
And Gary, can you remind us why we want this camera system?
I'm sorry, what?
Why do we need this security system?
Okay, in the forensic audit, remember I gave you a copy, if you were to read, one of the things that they complained about was the liquor sales at the bar, okay? And I'm not, you know, they insinuated that that bartenders were skimming, okay, that's what the insinuation was. I'm not saying that's true, okay, but, you know, there's a lot of money handled at the bar. And so the key would be is to have a camera system to make sure that there's, that everything is kosher at the bar.
Okay. Did we get any prices yet, or is it just?
Yes.
That was the money.
They try to explain them. They're not apples to apples. The night security alarm system, we buy it, we own it, there are no other costs. It's $3,198. It includes 2 cameras at the bar, and then running the cable to the office, putting in a DVR recorder, and a monitor. And that would be buying, we own, and that's $31.98. The other option is to go with alarm detection systems. They do our fire alarm system and our door alarm system. And they have 2 options. One, they own the system and we pay just $1,100 up front, but $66 a month. Or we buy the system from them for $2,764, but we still have a monthly fee, which would be $300 more per year. That particular system that they're talking about with alarm detection systems, they don't install a monitor or a DVR they don't install a monitor in the office. They actually set it up to where you can review the footage on your computer?
In my opinion, I think it would be a good deterrent rather than actually catching anything on it. But if they know that there is a camera on it, you're not going to be doing anything illegal or that.
Is the monthly fee for a monitoring service or just a rental of the equipment?
So when the company owns the equipment, it's for the rental of the equipment, and they give you a one-time install fee and a monthly rental fee. So you pay both a monthly rental fee for the equipment and for the service itself. Or if we own it, you still have to pay an install fee and a monthly rental fee. It's just a difference of who owns the equipment. It changes what the initial cost is from $1,100 to basically $2,800.
That was the second option. That was the second.
Yeah, that was the second company,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Night Security, now Night Security installed our cameras in the food pantry, and we own the camera, the whole system. We bought it, they installed it, and we pay no fees.
Tell me, why do we have the camera system inside the food pantry?
More reliability than anything else. We have a lot of truck traffic and people.
So if somebody gets injured,
right,
we can look at, okay, that makes sense. I just didn't see anything that we would be worried about them taking in there, you know.
They believe there might be an annual fee of $100. I haven't seen a bill yet, so I don't.
I think it's a $100 annual fee, and it's simply to handle any type of upgrades to your system. They're accessible on your phone, so you don't even have to be on site. You know, it could be in the office, but you can also access it on your phone. Something has to be better. Right.
So is it all saved to a cloud and we can just go and review?
Yes, and you can get a 30-day look back on something if you need to set the recording of your image.
So 30 days is the...
30 days will be up in the pantry. I'm not sure what Jack talked about.
This particular one is 15 days of storage, and I think what we'd be looking at is whatever might happen on weekends, for the most part.
Any further discussion on it? Can I have a motion to approve to put in the camera system?
So moved.
I wasn't done. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can we go back or no? Can we go back to the discussion or no?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Is this approving just the camera system, or are we deciding which one?
I'm sorry.
Are we deciding which system we're going with here, or are we just deciding yes, we'll have one?
Why don't we just say we approve to purchase the system, and then we can see which is the best system economically for it.
Okay.
Would that be acceptable?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that way you approve it, and then we don't have to come back for a price. We'll just get the best one. Okay? Can I have that motion?
I move that we purchase, security, did you have something?
Would you please just add something to the effect of a cost not to exceed?
Not to exceed,
What's the one that's the
31.
Yeah, the one that was the highest cost was $31.98. But you also have to remember these others have monthly fees too, so.
Maybe just the upfront and not to exceed the number upfront. That work?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I really think you need to pick one over the other. I mean, let the township attorney weigh in, but I don't know that that's, yeah.
Well, I would like to see us own it, I think, probably better option. Michael?
Okay, we should have a motion that we will have a camera by the bar. Then in the next 30 days, we will then find out which is the best one. And at the next meeting, we can approve the actual system that we want. Okay, can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, call the roll.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Rand.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Larson.
Aye. The next one is the upgraded alarm system. From what I understand, we've been having a lot of false alarms on our alarm system. And what is the cost of the system that we're looking at?
So really what I was wanting to do, is it's two separate systems. There's the door alarms that you use, doors and windows, for enter and exit of the building before and after hours. That is the alarm detection systems. I did not bring forward the fire proposal because I don't have two different companies to give you. The fire alarm is the one that's been going off in the middle of the night. It's gone off twice so far. We get a certain amount of grace ones every year, but we don't know what causes it to go off. It just does. What I can say is it's old, just like this system for the doors. Almost everything here is from like 1989, and it's old, and it unfortunately doesn't work as well as it used to. So what I brought forward for you today was the option to upgrade our alarm system for the doors to bring it more into the 21st century. It'll get a new brain box, it'll be wireless, it'll be controlled with a phone app. You can arm or disarm the alarms remotely. So say one of you is here and you can't get the alarm set, you can reach out to me, I can do it on my phone. You can reach out to Linda, she could do it on her phone. There's a slight increase on the cost, but again, all of these systems that are here, both in the Levy Center and the Township Building, and yes, the food pantry, are really, really old, and they're obsolete.
I'd rather go with the entire system rather than piecemeal, for the fire alarm and then for the door alarm. So what I'd like to see is that if we table this to the next, the board meeting, and then we have an entire proposal for both the fire and also for the door alarm.
Happy to do that.
I'd entertain a motion to table this to the next board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Larson.
Aye. The next item is, according to the statute, the township clerk can appoint a deputy clerk. However, the only provision on that is that the board has to give her or him permission to do so. Now, that person does not have to be an employee of the township. She could appoint someone who is outside the township. And what it is basically in this situation where, say for instance, she was incapacitated or, she fell down the stairs or something, that person could take over and doing the minutes and everything for the meeting. So that's all that is, but it's just that we have to give her permission to do so.
Is it paid at all?
What's that?
Is it paid?
That you can pay if you want to. You can give them a stipend, say, for every day they serve you so much, or you can pay them if you so desire. In most cases, it's usually just honorary. Although in the case of this township, we had it where we had to use the deputy clerk because the clerk resigned. Any discussion? She does not even have to give us the name of the person she wants to appoint. That's her prerogative.
Do we need to make a decision, so how or if the deputy clerk is compensated?
She would have to bring that back to the board to get that approved. We need compensation. Yeah.
So we're just approving that the clerk can appoint a deputy clerk.
We're just giving her permission to appoint a deputy clerk.
Okay.
That's all we're doing.
I move that we give the clerk permission to appoint a deputy clerk.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Marcy.
Aye. The next item on the agenda is, we would like to get permission to hire an additional staff member in the office, for administrative purposes. We lost Amy, when she left for that, and, we don't really have many staff members. If you look at the organizational chart from several years ago, there were twice as many people in there. And trying to cover everything that we have, especially in the League Center and here, it's getting, overwhelming. So we'd like to get permission to actually look at it. I would probably put a caveat that we would probably come back and get approval from the board for any hiring.
Okay, so this is just to approve, to look at hiring.
Yeah, let's just do that and probably in the next board meeting or the following one, we'll have an active tax position or something like that. Because we have to work up a job description too and everything. But we've discussed it that it would be someone that would work between the administrative office and the League Center.
Would this be a full-time or a part-time position?
Full-time.
Full-time?
Mm-hmm. And also, with the idea, I know I've had several of the trustees contact me about the website. And our website, is in terrible shape.
Can that person take care of the website?
That would be part of the job description, would be having worked on the website and everything.
Gary, who would they report to? If they're working between the Levy Center and the administrative office?
We haven't made that decision yet, but ultimately they report to me.
Okay.
And that's a good point. As far as the employees of the township, we do have two divisions, the League Center and of course the main office and the food bank. But ultimately, the supervisor is the CEO of the township, and ultimately they all report to me.
Mr. Supervisor, can I ask you a question, please? Regarding this hiring? Why did y'all let her speak? Mr. Supervisor,
I'm sorry, the public comment section is closed. I'm sorry.
Can I have a motion to look into the hiring?
So moved.
Second.
Would you please call the roll, please?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Marcy.
Aye. The last item on there is approval to purchase new bulbs for gardens. That, of course, is garden bulbs, flower bulbs, not light bulbs.
Right.
And this is an annual thing that they plan to do at this time.
I move that we purchase the bulbs for the garden.
And I thought the amount was $1,300. $1,400. Okay, $1,400 would be the total cost for all the bulbs. I have a question. Where exactly would they be planted? They only last 2 years? I thought they were, huh?
What happens is they get smaller and smaller to the point where, that's their one, but they have to put 25, 30 and hope that we get 5 or 6.
Oh, okay, okay, and approved for purchase of, entertain a motion to approve?
There it is, but we don't have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Martin.
Aye. Next item is the approval of the township bills and claims. Open payables of 19,803 and paid payables of 114,899 almost, okay. Is there any question on the payables? Remember, that's your major responsibility. Okay, if there is no discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bills and claims.
So moved.
Would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Martin.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is the reports from the staff and contractors. Is there anything from the legal report? We don't have it. No. Okay, the administrative report.
I don't know how much detail you want me to go into, but we did tools for school, handed out over 350 backpacks with some basic supplies in them. Had a lot of help from the food pantry putting that together because we handed out a snack bag to each of the families for each child as well. We've been reviewing utility contracts, just looking at things where they can be upgraded, as you saw from the energy saving audit. We finished the transition of the accounting function from the contractor totally over to Deneen. She is on her own and doing well. And a lot of odds and ends, repairing and ordering equipment that is broken or falling apart or just outdated. So, been very busy.
You missed one point. The sale of the.
Oh, yeah, you guys gave us permission to put all the utility vehicles out for auction. We did sell two. The two buses are sold, one for $1,700 and one for $3,200. And those monies, unless we have to do a motion or something, I think the supervisor had indicated that we would put those into the holiday meal.
The Levy Center. Not the Levy Center, but the food bank.
The food bank. So those got sold, and the rest of the auction items are going up this week, and hopefully we'll get a few bucks from each one of those as well.
Next is the Levy Center Director.
Just going to give some highlights from August. We went to Four Winds Casino in Michigan. We went on quite an adventure in Shipshewana, Indiana. We did a little miniature golfing. We held a crosstown classic Sox versus Cubs party here at the Levy Center. Better luck next year to the Cubbies. We played bungo, bingo, left, right, center. We did this on every other Wednesday and every other Fridays. This Thursday we'll be going to the Cheesecake Factory in Oak Brook. Some of our September events include bungo, lunch and games on Fridays. We're going to the Cubs game at Wrigley Field, Sox game at Guaranteed Rate. We're doing lunch bunches at Ranky's and Papado's. We brought back our dinner and movie at the Levy Center. Our first movie will be showing Queen Bees. I will be hosting our first brunch and learn for the seniors, how to operate a cell phone. We'll be going to Springfield the 3rd week of September for the Senior Olympics. The 4th week of September, we're taking a quick trip up to Galena for 4 days. October 3rd, Sunday, October 3rd, we're going to host our first tailgating party in the township parking lot here. And we'll come back in and watch the Bears game at noon on the big screen. All I have.
Hey, Dave, you have?
Tomorrow we're doing a senior box giveaway 106 units, I'm getting real poor cooperation from their property manager, but we're prepared to do all 106 units of dry goods, frozen meats, any produce, bread, that type of thing, just like we did at Romeo Gardens. That'll be at 1 o'clock till 1 to 1:30. And then on September 11th, that's a Saturday, we're opening the food pantry on Saturdays from now on. Our hours will be from 8 until 12, but we're open to the public from 9 until 11. I need an hour to set up and an hour to close up. At the end of the day, we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. If we need longer, we'll do longer. So, that's it.
As you all know, that the Saturday opening of the food bank is a big issue with me, before we even ran and so on. Huh? And, okay, then we have, I didn't see the assessor here.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. You should stand behind the podium, because I lose you.
Yeah, so the 2021 assessments are finalized. So if we made a change to your assessment, you would have received a notice by now from the county. Those were mailed out on August 6th. If you do not agree with your assessment, the deadline for filing an appeal is September 13th. And just another reminder, if you know anyone turning 65, have them come in for their senior questions.
I have a question, Jean, and that is, there was legislation to, extend the, where you don't have to put in for the senior.
They did approve to roll over the freeze for 2021, so the seniors don't have to do anything with that this year. But then next March, they're gonna have to do it again, so they'll get forms in the mail at the end of March next year.
So if you turn 65, you have to go and get on the books. But if you already been getting the assessment, the freeze, you don't have to worry about it for another year.
Once you turn 65, you have to come in and sign up for the senior. The freeze is a different one that we need to renew every year. So that's the one that rolled over for this year.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
I just want to give a big shout out to everybody who helped recruit the schools. When we came into office, there was nothing prepared to do this program this year. We had to jump in and order supplies, get help packing them together, and then distributing them in August. I have to give a big shout out to Terry Ransom, who jumped in, Jackie Trenier, and Marisol. And in addition, on Tuesday before our event, we had a bunch of seniors that came over to the conference room at the township office and packed high school backpacks for us. So thank you to everyone who was involved. We really appreciate the hard work. And with the staff that we have, I am looking forward to many more volunteer opportunities with them because they're all fabulous.
Okay. Now for the trustees. Comment?
Yeah, we mentioned the newsletter. Actually, we're gearing up now for the October issue of the newsletter. And yeah, the first issue we did, yeah, there was cobbled together with the printer. There was disconnects there. It was shaky getting started, but we know more what we're doing. We're going to firm up the printer identity, and yes, looking for some proofreading help on this. So this thing bounced back and forth to the printer, and things went to the printer and committed to ink before we realized that there were mistakes. So that's the part of the process we need to fix. But having gone through it once, we know more about what we're doing, so we're gearing up for that. So that's what's new.
Carrie?
I also would like to just thank everyone for all their volunteer efforts for the tools for schools. It was a great success. So again, we appreciate everyone that helped us out. The other thing I just wanted to mention is that Citizens Against Abuse is having a virtual 5K run walk. And it is it starts Monday, September 13th, and it's Thursday through September 6th. And adults are $25, children $10, and children under a certain age are free. I think it's 10. Just wanted to mention that as part of Citizens Against Abuse. So that's it for me.
Debbie isn't here, so Green.
Well, as most of you know, I have a newborn, so she's just about 12 weeks. So I'm still kind of on maternity leave, not really too much involved, but I do hope to get more involved now. I hope to be appointed to the youth committee and help out with Terry. And I just want to say that I just want to encourage everybody, if you haven't yet, to get vaccinated. There are a lot of breakthrough cases, especially in Illinois. Last week, 25% of hospitalized COVID cases were from vaccinated people. But now the FDA did approve the Pfizer vaccine, so please get vaccinated and encourage others to get vaccinated.
Since you brought that up, I will announce that as of last week, I did put out a regulation that all township employees had to be vaccinated for COVID-19. And if they, unless they had a note from their doctor or religious, affiliation, prohibited them from getting vaccination. But if they refused or if they had a note, then they would be required to get tested twice a week, Monday and Wednesday, and they would have to come in with those notes, and if they did not come in, they would not be able to work. So that was put out last week. It is probably something that, a policy that the board would be promulgating, but since we weren't going to meet until then, and the things were getting, we had a couple of cases of positives in the township that I felt it was necessary on an emergency basis to go and push that thing. So it's probably something I probably should bring up to the board to be approved, but we didn't have it on the agenda. So you can't approve it if it's not on the agenda. So I will probably have it on the next board meeting, that policy. All right, one of the things that brought up was that since we had an executive session basically scheduled, that we should probably table that to the next board meeting. So if I could have a motion to table that to the next board meeting or special meeting if it's necessary. I should say special meeting or a meeting of the board.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Thompson. Aye. Supervisor Marcy.
Aye. And at the next board meeting, I'll have the policy as far as the vaccination policy. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Thompson. Aye. Supervisor Marcy.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me turn this off.